Okay, let's unpack this. We are diving into a realm of wealth acquisition that makes a truly audacious claim. We're looking at sources that declare getting rich is an exact science like algebra or arithmetic. And, well, if you follow the formula, failure is simply impossible.
It really does sound like hyperbole, doesn't it? But that sheer confidence, I think that's precisely why this text has, endured. It's presented very much as a technical manual, not
Yeah.
some motivational sermon.
Right.
The authors demand that you accept their conclusions scientifically, meaning you take it on faith at first until you prove the results yourself.
Okay.
So our deep dive mission today is really to extract the key components of the system, and it demands a total psychological shift, basically moving entirely from a competitive mindset to a purely creative one.
And what's fascinating is, unlike a lot of modern self-help stuff that focuses just on tactics, this system starts really deep. Metaphysical foundations. So what is the ultimate philosophical bedrock, the thing that supposedly makes this science actually work?
Well, we have to start with the monistic theory of the universe. That's where the whole thing begins and ends, really.
Okay. Monistic theory.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty dense. Might turn people off straight away. Can we simplify that? What does monism mean here in the context of creating wealth?
It just means unity, oneness. The sources state there is only one original, thinking, formless substance. And everything we see, everything we touch, everything, it's all made from this one substance. And this substance, it's intelligent, it's alive, and this is crucial, it's constantly impelled toward more life, towards greater expression.
So it wants to grow. It's inherently generative, not limited or scarce.
Exactly. That's the core idea. It's not a zero-sum game.
Okay, if that's true, if there's this one universal, inexhaustible thinking substance, where does the individual, where do we come in? Why don't things just pop into existence randomly?
Because the human mind acts like a specialized focal point. We are thinking centers, capable of original thought. The mechanism, as described, is that when you hold a clear, definite, and fixed thought, a mental image, you literally impress that image onto this formless substance.
You impress it onto the substance.
Yeah. And because the substance is intelligent and always seeking increase, more life, it has to organize itself. It starts creating the physical thing that matches your thought. Your mind is essentially the mold.
Wow. Okay, the moment you introduce that, this idea of an inexhaustible substance responding directly to thought, it changes everything about aspiration, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the sources use this idea to declare something pretty radical, that we have an inalienable right to all the development we're capable of, mentally, spiritually, physically, all of it.
And that right immediately becomes a duty, almost, to unfold your soul, develop your talent, become the full version of yourself. Well, that requires material means.
Right, you need things.
You need many things, and those things require money. Therefore, the science of getting rich, it isn't just about being comfortable. The source frames it as the fundamental basis of all human advancement.
It completely flips the script. And I think this is where the sources get maybe controversial for some people. It actually says that being content with less than you're capable of enjoying or sort of settling for poverty, it's described as sinful.
Exactly. But sinful not in a, religious condemnation way.
Okay.
More like sinful against the impulse of nature itself. If the universe's purpose is continuous increase, more life, fuller expression, then denying your own desire for more, well, you're denying the universe's purpose-seeking expression through you.
So the desire for wealth isn't a greedy vice in this view. It's reframed as almost a moral necessity for self-actualization.
Pretty much, yeah. It's tied directly to growth.
So we've got the philosophical context, this monism idea, and the moral imperative, the right, or even duty to riches. Let's move to the practical side. What's the mental toolkit someone needs to actually use this to become that thinking center?
Okay, the very first step is cultivating the ability to think in a certain way. And what that means is forming a clear and definite mental picture of what you want to have or do or become.
It has to be specific, right? Not just vague wishing.
Absolutely specific. A vague thought like, oh, I want a better job, that doesn't cut it. It can't be impressed clearly. It needs detail. Think it through. See it. Feel it.
And then crucially, behind that clear vision, you need, what is it? A fixed purpose to get it, an unwavering faith that it's already yours, like it's on its way, or even already here mentally.
Yes, that's the concept of mental ownership.
Yeah.
You have to live in the feeling, the expectation of this new reality now.
But okay, here's the challenge, isn't it? How do you keep that unwavering faith when, well, when your bank account, your daily life, the appearances around you might be screaming the exact opposite? poverty, lack.
Exactly. And that is why the sources elevate the law of gratitude. It's presented as the single most essential daily practice to bridge that gap.
Gratitude. Okay, on the surface, that sounds a bit like generic positive thinking. We hear that a lot.
Yeah.
How does this system make gratitude into something measurable, like a scientific force?
It explains it using physics, basically. The principle of action and reaction. Think of it like energy dynamics.
Okay.
Gratitude is the action, the constant thankful outreach of your mind, praising what you have and what's coming. That's a deliberate expenditure, a release, a liberation of spiritual force.
A liberation of force.
Yes, and it's supposedly the most powerful way to harmonize your mind's frequency with that original source substance.
Okay, so if that outward action, that grateful energy is continuous and strong,
Yeah.
what's the reaction?
The reaction, according to the source, is an instantaneous movement towards you in the formless substance. It means the things you want, the resources, the people, the opportunities, they are immediately set in motion towards you.
So gratitude isn't just politeness. It's like tuning a radio.
Kind of. When you're grateful, you're affirming that the supply is infinite. You're affirming you are receiving. You're acknowledging the power is working now. It connects you.
And what's really fascinating here, the sources say that true faith is born of gratitude. Not the other way around, which is how I might have thought about it.
Precisely. Think about it. If you are truly, deeply grateful, you are necessarily focused on the good, on increase, which naturally pushes out fear, doubt, dissatisfaction. Those things can't easily coexist with genuine gratitude.
Right.
So if you're consistently grateful, you continually expect good things, and that powerful, constant expectation, that becomes unwavering faith. It's almost like a mechanism for manufacturing certainty in your own mind.
Which brings us neatly to the biggest threats, the hindrances to this whole process. If gratitude is the mental defense, what's the most destructive thought pattern to avoid?
Hands down, it's the competitive mindset. The moment your mind drops into competition, the source says the power to create is lost instantly.
Why? Because competition assumes scarcity.
Exactly. If you're worried about supply being limited, or you're fretting about monopolies or bankers or what competitors are doing, you are fundamentally denying the core premise that the formless substance is inexhaustible and responsive to you.
So if you're using this creative method, seeing your neighbor succeed and feeling jealous or anxious about it, that's instantly shooting yourself in the foot. You're switching back to a belief in limits.
Absolutely. The source claims you actually arrest any creative movements already underway. And beyond competition, there's another huge one. You must think truth regardless of appearances.
Regardless of appearances, what does that mean practically?
It means you don't let the current physical reality dictate your dominant thoughts. The sources are quite strict. Looking upon appearances of poverty, disease, misery, it produces those corresponding negative forms in your own mind.
Because the thinking substance takes the form of what you think about most.
Precisely. So you have to consciously refuse to fill your mind with pictures of gloom or worry about negative news reports, even when they seem totally real and prevalent around you. Focus on the vision.
That takes incredible internal discipline. Which brings up willpower. This is a subtle but really important point in the material, isn't it? How willpower should and shouldn't be used.
Yes, very important. Willpower should be used, and used aggressively, but only upon yourself.
On yourself, how?
You use it to compel yourself to maintain the vision, to choose gratitude over doubt, to force yourself to act in the required way. But any attempt to apply your will externally, like trying to coerce other people, control them, dominate them to get what you want, that's forbidden.
So trying to use this science to, say, manipulate the stock market directly or force a business rival out, that would actually break the whole system for you.
It breaks the law of creation, yes, because it shifts you right back into the competitive frame, assuming you have to take from others or control them. Willpower is for managing your own mind and actions. Trying to mentally dominate others or external events is seen as foolish and self-defeating. This is about creation, not coercion.
That internal focus is powerful. But the sources are also really quick to point out that just thinking, even with faith and gratitude, isn't enough on its own. Where does action come in? The physical part.
Right. Thought alone is absolutely insufficient. The failure to connect that focused thought with deliberate personal action. That's called the rock upon which many scientific metaphysical thinkers meet shipwreck.
Huh, okay. So you can think great thoughts all day, but if you don't act,
Nothing happens. By thought, the desired thing is brought to you in the invisible realm. But by action, you have to be ready to receive it. You prepare your place for it. You engage with your current reality.
And we can't just sit around waiting for the perfect environment or the dream job to magically appear before we start acting?
Yeah. Definitely not. Action must be done now, right where you are, upon the people and things in your present environment. The key instruction is do every day all that can be done that day, and do it in a perfectly successful manner.
Perfectly successful. What does that mean? Does it mean never making a mistake?
No, not necessarily mistake-free. It means performing each act with the full power of your mind behind it. It's about efficiency, not just busyness. Success, the source says, doesn't depend on how many things you do, but on the efficiency of each separate action.
So let's say your big vision is to be I don't know, a multimillionaire CEO. But today, right now, you're working a minimum wage job. That task right in front of you, maybe answering a customer call or filing something,
Yes.
that specific, maybe mundane act, must be performed with the full mental force of your vision, your faith, your purpose, making that specific act efficient and successful in itself.
Exactly. Every single act, no matter how commonplace, must be made strong and efficient by the mental state you hold while doing it. If you allow yourself to do even one act inefficiently or sloppily because you think, oh, this is beneath my grand vision, that inefficiency leaks. It becomes your habit.
I see. You make success inevitable by making every single action a success, embodying that future reality now.
That's the idea. You
Okay.
act now as the person you intend to become.
And this connects directly to the ultimate practical application in dealing with others, the principle of increase. This sounds like the ethical safeguard, ensuring your actions stay creative and don't slip into competition.
It absolutely is. It's like the golden rule of action in this system. In every single transaction, every interaction, you must give the other person more in use value than you receive in cash value.
Okay, break that down. Use value versus cash value. Let's use an analogy. If I sell you, say, a chair for $100, that's the cash value. What's the use value I need to give in excess?
It means the actual benefit the customer gets from that chair, its comfort, its durability, its beauty, maybe the friendly service that came with it, the guarantee, the total usefulness and positive impact on their life must be greater than the $100 they paid.
Ah, so you're not just making a sale. You're consciously making the other person's life tangibly better, richer, more advanced because they dealt with you.
Yes, you aim to be a center of advancement for everyone you interact with. This ensures every transaction makes for more life for both parties. It's inherently non-competitive. It's creative increase.
You're deliberately driving mutual increase. And if you consistently operate like that, the sources claim you start to convey the impression of increase just by your presence, in your actions, your tone, your look.
And people are naturally drawn to sources of increase, aren't they? They sense it. They'll seek you out. If you always deal with others in a way that ensures they gain more life, more value, by associating with you, opportunity and prosperity will flow to you naturally, without struggle or competition. That is the creative path in action.
Okay, so let's try to synthesize this whole thing for the listener. It's quite a system. It's metaphysical, but also intensely practical.
Yeah.
What does it all boil down to?
I think it really requires a necessary three-part synergy. You can't really have one without the others. First, there's the intellectual commitment. You have to accept, or at least act as if you accept, the monistic premise, unwavering faith in that one inexhaustible thinking substance.
Right, the foundation.
Second, continuous active gratitude. That's the spiritual force, the connector. It harmonizes your mind with the source and, crucially, keeps you out of that destructive, competitive thinking.
Okay, faith and gratitude.
And third, efficient present action. Always focused on mutual increase. Always giving more in use value than you receive in cash value in every single interaction. Mind, spirit, body, all aligned.
It's a demanding practice. But if we accept the source material's core claim for a moment, that wealth acquisition truly is an exact science, driven by this internal creative power, not external competition, the implications for society, well, they're huge.
Oh, they're radical. The text actually suggests that if even just a few thousand employees within a large corporation started moving and acting in this certain way, always giving maximum use value, conveying that impression of increase, the organization itself would be compelled either to provide significantly more opportunity and resources to those specific individuals, or those individuals would simply, naturally, be drawn away to better opportunities elsewhere, leaving the old, rigid, competitive structures behind. The system adapts to increase.
Wow. So the ultimate challenge to you, the listener, might be this. What would actually happen if enough people started following this tide of opportunity? By using their internal creative power, focusing on increasing life for themselves and for others, instead of just fighting over slices of a supposedly fixed pie.
Yeah.
If you truly became a pure center of increase, how quickly would the world, your world, at least have to reorganize itself around you? That's definitely a powerful thought to take away.